Inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. We have a very distinguished guest speaker for our Sunday program, Brother Mohamad Abakar, who will be presenting today on Introduction to Artificial Intelligence. Brother Mohamad Abakar is a senior at the University of Southern California, studying biomedical engineering. He is interested in working in the realm of medical technology and hopes to work in making healthcare more affordable. Outside of the classroom, he is one of the founding members and past co-president of Faces of African Muslim at USC and serves as the vice president of the university's Muslim Student Union. He also works for USC's Community AI Project, which is an initiative to teach the local community about AI and ways to take advantage of it. Please give a warm welcome to Brother Mohamad Abakar.
That was all good. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As she mentioned, my name is Mohammed, and I'm here to teach you guys a little bit about AI. A little bit more about me. I'm a senior at USC studying biomedical engineering, but a fun fact is that my elementary school, my middle school, and my university are on the same street. So for elementary school, I actually came here to ICSC. For middle school, just down a couple of blocks, I went to Virgil, and now I'm at USC right now. So all right here on the same street. And kind of my favorite way to use AI is to kind of create designs that I kind of envision, but I don't have the skills to go ahead and build it myself. So starting off, I have a question for all of you. Do you have any experience with AI?
Yeah.
What is that experience?
I like to use the AI many times,
Mhm.
when I ask for the education things.
Mhm.
For example, if I ask what is the current environmental issues in these days in US,
Mhm.
then he gave me some of these. Then I asked him again, okay, could you give me more explanation about this? Okay,
Mhm.
I said, and the source. Then after, it's like the research.
Yeah.
You write the post, but with a good background of research.
No, definitely. It's like a lot easier than just using Google, right? And it gets you a lot more specific in what you're looking for than just searching it up all.
But the main important thing is
Mhm.
to write it by my way after that.
No,
After
exactly,
I
right?
not just to take it and copy and paste. That is wrong way.
No, definitely.
I took it, then I write it with my own words
Mhm.
and with my own my opinion, not
The AI's opinion. Yeah.
what I'm, because I'm an expert of the environmental
Mhm.
and then I write it. I posted in the link.
Subhanallah.
Like that.
Yeah, at least for the idea of like sourcing information, AI is a really good tool for that. So basically, what AI stands for is artificial intelligence, and it's basically technology that's able to kind of replicate human thinking, right? So the way that it works is that you're able to go ahead and upload a lot of data. From that data, it's able to go ahead and comprehend and kind of use that to go ahead and make decisions. So kind of what you're talking about beforehand, it's able to go ahead and do all these different type of things, but it may not be from your specific tone. Now, if you were to go ahead and give AI a lot of your work and give it your own your own different ways of how you go and word things and your type of perspective, then it would be able to mimic something that's similar from you, but it wouldn't be able to go ahead and insert anything from outside of what you go ahead and you feed it to. So going into a little bit about how AI is kind of utilized, I kind of have a quick game for us, figuring out whether or not an image is actually AI generated or not. So this is an image right here. Raise your hand if you think that this is a real image. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, this one is actually, who does not think that it's a real image? 1. So this image is actually real. This is a image of my campus by the village. When we go to another images, I'll show you guys key indications of how you can figure out whether an image is AI or not. Now this image right here, do we think that this image is AI or real? Raise your hand if you think that this is AI. 1, 2, 3. Who thinks that this is real? 1, 2, 3. So this image right here is actually AI generated. Something that you can kind of tell this is that the background is a little bit blurry. So a lot of times AI, what they'll do is that they'll go ahead and they'll have like a main focal point and they'll blur the background. Yes, a lot of times photographers should still be able to do that, but that's kind of like the indication of how majority of AI images are. Also, I think the guy's arm looks a little bit weird, just like the indentation right here behind the dog's ear. But it's still very hard to tell whether this is fake or not. What about this image right here? Is it, raise your hand if you think it's AI. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who thinks it's real? 1. So this image is actually AI as well. So it's, as you guys are getting a feel of things, it's still very hard to figure out whether an image is AI or if it's really real, right? Kind of like similar to the other image, it has a little bit of that blurry background, but that still doesn't necessarily mean that every single blurry background is going to be an AI image, right? Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, if you see the bridge,
Yeah.
the edge of the bridge here, it's a little bit not real. So
Hmm.
you because you are, I am advocate.
Yeah.
I can say this is not real.
Mashallah. Yeah.
Looks
But-
like there's like powder on the side of the bread. See the powder? I know that looks more like powder.
No, I see what you mean as well. Yeah, especially like right here, right?
No, to the,
Or
on the opposite side.
right here.
Up.
Up.
Now over a little more. Over a little more. See the white powder everywhere?
Oh, right here, I see it. Yeah.
It's fake on the plate too.
Yeah. No, definitely. That's, yeah. I think they're trying to generate maybe like some seeds or something like that, just putting it on top, but it definitely looks a little off there. And this is the last image right here. Raise your hand if you think this is AI. Raise your hand if you think this is real. Yeah, this is a center that they have off of like Wilshire and I believe like by Harvard area over there. It's a center they have over there. But this, yeah, this is real. Yeah. So at least with these images, AI is starting to get to a point where it's very hard to kind of distinguish what's real or not, right? What you guys may be accustomed to is kind of like the videos that going on right now. There is a new AI platform called Sora AI in which they're able to make really, really realistic videos. There's a lot of famous videos they have going on, like cat videos. They have like baby videos. They have like random people skydiving, saying random things. So we're starting to get to a world where it's very hard to kind of distinguish what may be real or what may be AI. Yes. It's called Sora AI. Sora.ai. Sora, I'll type it out right now. It's called Sora.ai. Yeah. Let me just show you all right here. Yeah. So it's able to like generate very, very realistic looking videos. It is a platform. Sora, it's a extension of OpenAI who created ChatGPT. So at least for them, it's kind of their platform that they have in order to like go ahead and create AI videos. I believe so.
Because now
Yeah.
GPT become like
Hmm.
asking you all the time.
Yeah. It's a mix of things. So I know, especially if you're a student, a lot of different AI platforms you're able to get it for free. For example, I have one that I'll use later today called Perplexity, which you could find right here. This one right here, as a student, I get this completely free for a whole year, right? So there's a lot of platforms like that. A lot of AI software, what they do is that they have a period, they have like a free version and they have an exclusive version which you be paid for, right? A lot of times it's just more efficient, or sometimes they won't give you certain features, right? Like sometimes they may not allow you to go ahead and create images, or they may not allow you to go ahead and insert X amount of words. They don't let you exceed a certain type of limit. But yeah, yes.
So we always call it AI, but some of those older movies where
Mhm.
they have the, you know how they do it in Hollywood, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have illusions, you know, basically I call it an illusion.
Mhm.
Okay. Which AI is a type of illusion.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That led way to that. You know?
Yeah. So at least how AI works is a little bit differently. So the way that you use AI is that it needs information. So without information, it's not able to just go ahead and generate something by itself. So everything that AI is kind of scripted on is based off of something that's able to pull. So now a lot of these open source models that we have now, like ChatGPT and stuff like that, they're able to pull it complete from the internet. Now, if you go ahead and you code a whole model for like an AI, but you don't feed it any type of information, it can't spit anything out. All that it knows is whatever it can give you. It cannot kind of create new thought, if that makes sense. Yeah. That definitely, at least right now, it's what it does is that it's able to like speed up a lot of different things that would take a lot more time for humans to go ahead and do. Yeah. At least like all the inspiration. AI has actually been around for like a long while, right? But now it's just been like a sudden boom in which we're able to go ahead and like type things out, right? Yeah. So now I have a question for you all. Do you guys know what prompt engineering is? Prompt engineering. Yeah. Yeah. Any tries? Yes. Mhm. Yeah. No, that's a great way to put it. So basically, what prompt engineering is giving the AI clear instructions of what you want. So the best way to kind of use AI is by being very specific in your question and giving as many details as you can go ahead and give it, right? So that's kind of a huge field that they're opening up right now, prompt engineering. Some companies are actually hiring experts in prompt engineering to at least help out their other employees in figuring out how to best utilize what AI can kind of do. So some of the tips that I have, if you guys want to get the best out of AI, is first be clear. Say exactly what you want to say to the AI and what you want it to actually do. If you can, give it details and examples. From giving it details and examples, it kind of gets a kind of gauge of what you specifically want. Now, if you're asking AI for a very big task, make sure to kind of give it like smaller steps for it to go ahead and do it, and make sure just to give it head, be very clear in your format and be systematic if there's something that's a lot bigger in size. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, because definitely, especially for math, it's not the best if you just give it like some very complex equation. Like a lot of times, it's gonna go ahead, it's gonna give you like just pseudo math, something completely different, or it may not be able to like analyze it the right way, right? Exactly, right? Yeah, I mean, inshallah, like a couple years down the line, it's gonna be able to do anything, no matter how complicated it looks, right? But yeah, so at least for prompt engineering, I kind of have an activity for us. So this is an image that I took while I was on a boat in San Francisco. So I wanted to see if we can generate an image that is very similar to this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm gonna minimize this page. Give me 1 second. Let's put this right here. And I'm going to go ahead and open up ChatGPT right here. And basically what we're going to do is that we're going to think like prompt engineers and try to go ahead and replicate this image. What do you guys think as a description would be appropriate in figuring and making sure that we can go ahead and replicate this image right here? Okay. Create an image with the Golden Gate Bridge and American flag. Is there anything more specific that we can be, like the position of the Golden Gate Bridge or the flag?
Maybe you can just upload your picture and say,
Yeah.
could you give me like this picture, but if I
Yeah.
Yeah, we could definitely do that, but I want to see if we can go ahead and use our words to go ahead and generate that. Yeah. On a yacht?
With the back of the boat show.
Okay. With on a yacht with the back of the boat showing. Blue sky. Blue water.
and the coastal area,
With white trail foam. White foam trail.
and the coastal area will be with mountains in the background.
Area on the back side.
In the next one,
Okay. On the left. Can we say something more yes, a mountain. And we can say the Golden Gate Bridge is going into a mountain, right? Yeah. Golden Gate Bridge, okay, going into a mountain in the back. An American. Okay, I think this is very detailed. Okay. Should- The pole of the flag is overlapping the bridge.
But you can't see the back of the boat.
Okay. Sounds good. Make sure you can't see the back of the boat.
That's like
A road?
going around the mountain, but you can't see it.
Okay. Yeah. The only reason I think that if we put that in there, that AI might just get a little confused and maybe just put like a road right on top of it. Sounds good. Okay. The American flag is blowing in the wind. So make sure that it wrinkles a little bit. Are we good with this?
You have GPT plus.
I have
If it
perplexed.
happens,
Mhm.
it will not give you that image if you ask it.
Actually, I can show you guys. I gave it a different description, and I can show you the image that I kind of generated as well. Yeah. We might have to come back to this. I can show you. I can show you the description that I gave it and kind of the image that it spat out. So this is so at least doing this activity myself, I kind of gave it the same prompt. So I have this image right here, right? The same exact image, and it's the prompt that I gave it. Create an image for me that is based in the middle of the ocean with a mountain in the middle left of the image, the Golden Gate Bridge coming out of the right, an American flag in front of the bridge. And this is the image that it gave me. It gave me these two images when I reloaded 2 times. So it looks very similar, if you really think about it, to this image right here. It's really just missing this trail right here. And also you can see that they added a little bit more of the Golden Gate Bridge. Like you see the second arch. Yeah. Oh, that's me. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how our image is loading up. It's loading up right here. Yeah. We might come back to this.
Yeah, I told you. It's the only time and then it asks you to upload the GPT plus
Yeah.
That ass funny.
with money. So.
No, definitely.
That ass hilarious.
We'll come back to that at least for a little bit later.
Compare here between your image and the AI image. It is clearly you can make the difference. I think.
No, definitely. We also need to ask it to make it realistic, right? If we went ahead and put it as realistic, then it would at least go ahead and try to change the format and not try to go for like a more cartoony of an image, right? So at least right now we're waiting for that image to load. I want to talk about like AI scams. So at least with AI kind of coming into like fruition and everything, AI scams are becoming a lot more apparent. And right now it's not just, just getting a random email or just getting a random phone call for someone that you do not necessarily know. It's starting to get to a point where it even sounds like it even sounds like sounds of people like your loved ones, right? So with that, it gets a little harder, right? When you're getting a phone call, someone sounds like it's your sister or your brother or your child, right? And you think it is, right? But it's not. If they're in distress, they're asking for money, right? You want to be able to help them out, but you don't know whether it's really them or not. And kind of with that, I want to show you guys a video of, yeah, they actually do that a lot.
Before there is like email. For example, I remember my professor
Mm-hmm.
sent me the email to ask for the he was in Canada and his money is stolen and he wants $2,000. Even
Oh,
I
wow.
just saw him in the morning, so I suddenly then it is scam. We realized that, but a lot of people, some of them sent it already the money.
No, that's
But that's
yeah.
email. You can imagine now how much.
With voice, right? I'm gonna show you guys a very like kind of crazy video. It's going to be like the whole voice and the face of a person. So this is a very famous.
He's suggesting it came out of nowhere. What we subsequently learned is it may have come from the former president or his legal team acting in bad faith. This is a deepfake example of what is possible with powerful computer and editing. It took around 72 hours to create this example from scratch using extremely powerful GPU. It could be improved with more computing time, but 90% of people cannot tell the difference.
But you see, it's not just something where it's like coming through text or anything like that. It's voice and actual video,
It
right?
could be
The only way that you can kind of tell right now is if you're like cautious of his mouth and makes unnatural movement,
with
right?
more computing time, but 90%
Like the way
of
that his head moves a little bit, it vibrates a
people
little bit. if
cannot
you
tell
look
the
at it.
difference.
But at least that, right? It's very hard to go ahead and tell. The video again? Yeah, let me show you guys. So the first half is the real one, the one that's over there on the left,
Second
and the
youngest
real
son.
one's on the right.
He's suggesting it came out of nowhere. What we subsequently learned is it may have come from the former president or his legal team acting in bad faith. This is a deepfake example of what is possible with powerful computer and editing. It took around 72 hours to create this example from scratch using extremely powerful GPU. It could be improved with more computing time, but 90% of people can.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's still difficult.
Yeah, when he blinks, it's still a little funny.
And
not tell
Yeah,
the
he seems to look a little funny on this one, right?
But this one, the original.
Yeah.
He does go through a whole lot of emotions.
No, definitely.
Like,
And the blink more.
yeah, yeah, he do a lot of emotions. He doing a lot. This one is straight.
No, definitely.
Just going up and down.
But it's still
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's harder to do the emotions. because-
second youngest son. He's suggesting it came out of nowhere. What we subsequently
That computer can't feel.
yeah.
Look, this guy looks like my second uncle,
Oh wow.
but this guy, he looks fake.
Yeah. No, definitely. But at least for right now, like the reason why we're able to like kind of draw these conclusions is because we know that one of them is real and one of them is fake, right? If we're sitting down, let's say we're like half asleep, or let's say we're just in the middle of the day and we pull up a video, right? Unless you're over here and you're cautious, like figuring out like, okay, AI, there's AI videos out there. Let me go ahead and figure out if every single video is AI. A lot of times you can't tell the difference, right? And we're starting to get to a point right now. If this is bad, imagine what's going to happen like in a year or two, right? So at least with that, it's time for us to be like very cautious when we go ahead and we discourse, especially when it has something to do online or over the phone. So right here, this is kind of an example. This is kind of like a scam call example, right? You have a robot right here. It's like, hi, grandpa, it's me. It's pretending to go ahead and be his grandson, but it really is just an AI, right? It's like, Sebastian, is that you? Yes, it's me, grandpa. Yeah, this is me, Sebastian. Grandpa, I'm in trouble and I need money for bail, right? What happened? Please don't tell mom and dad. I'll get in so much trouble. Please help me. So at least from you, if you're hearing a loved one, especially in distress, right? You're gonna do irrational things sometimes, right?
Any asking for money, it is scam.
Yeah.
The speech, the way you talk is everything is short.
Mhm.
Well, there's no causes.
Yeah.
What people do in families, when they beg, they like stop.
Mhm.
Try to say, okay. Then they change the way they say it.
Yeah.
They wait a little while. You mean like that?
Mhm.
How ask people actually do.
No, definitely, yeah.
Try to trick the parents.
Yeah. I will say though, but if you have enough information, like if there's enough videos of that specific loved one out there and the AI is able to go and compute that, that can kind of mimic a lot of those things as well, especially if it has like videos out there of them being in those type of situations. That makes sense, right?
So how does this happen? Is this like on the phone? You get into your phone contacts? Or
So at least from that kind of like goes into the next point of like how do you go and do scam prevention tips. So a lot of times it's going to come from a random number, or it's going to come from like an email or some type of like platform that they may not necessarily have with the individual, right? Unless they somehow are able to like go and hack into like their email or something like that, right? But majority of times it's going to happen from a random phone number. So at least some of the ways to kind of go ahead and go around this is always double check, right? Especially if someone's asking you for money or personal information as well, right? I believe at USC, I believe like one of the years they told me that like students got scammed over $200,000, right? Just by doing scam calls and things and acting more irrationally, right? So number one thing is make sure that's legit, right? If it's a loved one or something like that, make sure you can go ahead and see if there's any way you can go and contact them. Another thing is to also be cautious when you're downloading links or software or anything like that, because a lot of times sensitive information can go ahead and be stolen that way. That's just a little bit more of just the internet in general. And also just limit sharing personalized information online, right? Because if you go out online and you upload some personal information from that, an individual who's trying to use AI to go ahead and scam your loved ones is able to go ahead and take advantage of that, right? This past summer, I was in the Bay. I was over there for a summer internship. And one of the local massages, there was a random guy who went ahead and went into the WhatsApp group chat, the masjid. And what he did is that he ended up pretending to be one of the staff of the masjid. And basically what he was doing, he's going ahead and he was asking for money from individuals. And the only way that they could go ahead and tell is that they try to go ahead and confirm with that person when they see him in person. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all you gotta do is like ask AI.
Mhm.
Should I ask people in the message for money? And it's probably gonna say no.
Yeah.
You gotta use the common sense.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it gets hard, like if someone goes ahead and gets information about your loved one or something like that, right? Especially like out of nowhere, 2, 3 a.m., you get a phone call from a loved one, be like, hey, I just got into a very, very bad car accident. I need money to go ahead and like tow my car. I don't have any money in my bank account, right? Especially in that moment of distress, you're more likely to go ahead and fall for it, right? Because like, the idea of AI is not in your mind, right? So,
You got this person. He said no.
did you say no? No, definitely. But let's go a little bit more to a happy note, talking about like AI and healthcare. So at least there may be a lot of detriment that comes on with AI, but there's a lot of positive that is kind of like reshaping what healthcare looks like. So AI is changing the healthcare field in many different ways. One of it has to do with like personalized medicine. There's a lot of different things for early disease detection, and just making more efficient like kind of workflows. So kind of how can it assist AI medical professionals? I actually went to a conference, a MedTech conference, and what they're trying to do is that they're also using AI to go ahead and train physicians. So at least for like dermatology, what they're able to do is they're able to go ahead and generate different type of AI images of different type of rashes, and at least train physicians to go ahead and be able to identify what these rashes may look like. Another thing that AI is able to do is it's very good at computing data. So if you give AI a lot of data, it's able to go ahead and organize it a lot more than us sitting down looking at graphs and seeing if something's like statistically significant or not. So at least from that, it's able to go ahead and get metrics of an individual and is able to go and give that doctor some type of information. Now, is AI going to go ahead and replace physicians? No, right? Especially like as we talked about before, it's not able to think for itself yet, right? So especially if there's any type of like new conditions or something out there, it's not be able to go ahead and tell that. Also, AI has a lot of biases, right? So a lot of like data that's able to be collected, a lot of it is biased between whether that's some against people of color, people of different sex, and different age ranges. So at least from that, you still need a medical professionals to still be there to go ahead and advise it. Now, what it may look like is that doctors may be able to work more efficiently, right? They may be able to see a lot more physicians, a lot more patients in one day, just given the fact that all the data is able to be computed a lot shorter in time. So as a senior at USC, I have to take a senior design course. So within that senior design course, I create some type of like medical technology. And one of the groups is actually creating some type of algorithm to go ahead and at least give physicians an idea of whether or not they should check for sepsis in patients when they go into the hospital. So a lot of times AI is still being able to be used in that sort of realm. Also like surgical robotics is able, like during surgery, is able to go ahead and tell physician real-time data, right? It just happened right there. Oh, no, like any type of like healthcare conditions, it's specific like type of like disease state. Yeah. So it's able to go ahead and like detect whether or not that may be a likelihood or may not be a likelihood. If that makes sense. So with AI as well, I know especially being in LA, we've seen all the autonomous vehicles, like the Waymos, or like if you ever look at the sidewalks, especially in Korea, like the little Coco robots that are going on. AI started to change the way that we drive as well, right? I have an image right here of Waymo. I believe we started having these in LA around like 2-3 years ago. So at least this is the project that they've been working on.
One of the questions that often comes up with Waymo is the fear factor with seniors. Are they willing to get in an autonomous vehicle without a driver? The answer is yes. I'm a volunteer at the Fairfax Senior Citizen Center. One of the issues that I've seen over my 12 years of volunteering is older adults getting to the point where they can no longer drive. It is giving up their freedom. Waymo would be a great help for older adults. When they see more of us using Waymo, they'll be encouraged because they're also adventurers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be going over Waymo 101. Tech Tuesdays provides education for technology. Anyone here taken a Waymo ride? Waymo will allow older adults to give up their keys easier. It's very, very important for me to be independent. I don't have to sit and wait. Oh, I need someone to take me here or take me there. I can take Waymo.
At least she can talk with the driver.
No, definitely. But like a lot of people too as well, right? If you don't want to talk to someone, right?
What she said, I would like to be independent. Okay.
Yeah.
It is the same.
With machines, electrical, or AI, anything, it has what you call kinks. So, so many people going to die from it.
Yeah. I actually think the stats is that it's actually safer than actual drivers being on the road.
Yeah,
At least,
safer, but
yeah.
The machine is going to break down somewhere. That's where it goes. That's
Yeah.
what the machine does. It works and it doesn't.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah, no, that definitely is true. But at least to argue that fact a little bit, I think that in terms of like the chances of it breaking down versus a human making a human error when they're driving, is something that kind of like offsets, if that makes sense, right? I think that at least we can actually look at the statistics if we go ahead. Let's go ahead and try to use AI. This is the image that we also generated beforehand.
Right now,
Yeah.
those kind of vehicles are not been on the road long enough to be on the say all that. Not yet.
Yeah, that definitely is true, right? At least like the idea of like over time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it definitely does look real. Let's look at it versus the image that we had earlier on. So this was our image earlier on. I can also just copy the image. Give me 1 second. Copy image. Let's go ahead right here. Let's paste it right under this right here. Okay, so the image looks very similar. One thing is that I think we incorrectly got the side of the bridge where it is in perspective to the image. Also, the flag is going on the right side of the pole and not the left side like it is in this image. Yeah, it's a lot bigger too. It doesn't have too many wrinkles, right? It definitely is true. It kind of looks like if the image was kind of like inverted a little bit, right? So if we went ahead and did that. Also, the trail too is straight here versus is a little bit more curved here. It also seems to go ahead and just go have like 3 separate streams instead of like one right here. But yeah, but if we were able to, if we had time and we sat down, we'd be able to like go ahead and give it more prompt for it to go ahead and adjust this image into like a very, very similar image than the image above.
Even the top doesn't look like the way it's structured.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it looks.
Makes it look like
No, definitely. Yeah. Because it's like a lot more wrinkled, just a lot more to the side and everything. Yeah. So-
when I get scammed, they don't look at all that. That's what's so funny. They just have to get scammed. They just hopefully, just look nice. And just,
Mhm.
They don't do all that thinking. We criticize that.
No, definitely. That's why you have to be a lot more meticulous, right? So at least on the topic of autonomous vehicles, have you guys ever been on an autonomous vehicle? You? How was it?
No, but
No, actually, it's very much law abiding.
Hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. Like I know, especially yeah.
Especially in San Francisco.
it's called
Yeah, I remember when I was in San Francisco. I remember just seeing it whenever it stopped waiting for a person, it would just stop in the middle of the street, right? It doesn't go ahead and kind of like indent into like any type of indentations. I know sometimes like when I'm driving, I have to wait for someone. Sometimes I might go ahead and just block a driveway, but I'll move as soon as like someone comes in, right? Yeah.
It's relatively more invasive. Well,
Mhm.
it's still safe.
Yeah, but especially for the Tesla one, I believe you still have to pay attention, right? You could be in the back of the wheel, but I believe like they even sense like whether or not you're looking, if you look at the road, if you're looking down. So at least for that as well, right? You still have a human in there as well, right? So kind of the goal and the safety factor of this is that this is supposed to be completely autonomous, right? So there should not be any type of slip ups. There should be no point where you should go on ahead and grabbing the wheel. Yeah.
I remember a video,
Mhm.
video making for the vehicle.
Yeah.
One actor entered this car
Mhm.
and he asked about the neutral street.
Yeah.
And that car took him in the ship, and from the ship to the museum.
No way.
You can, yeah. Funny video they do, yeah.
The
But I
And he cannot go out, so he's stuck.
Yeah.
it's like
That is crazy.
You can imagine.
That's gotta be like a funny scare or something. Yeah. No, but definitely, like autonomous vehicles are not still fully developed to like its maximum capability, right? Like you don't see any of them inside the freeway yet, right? Even like the Waymos in LA, they have like specific streets that they'll go and they'll take in certain type of routes, even though it may be the least efficient, right? Because that's what they deem to be the most safe, or at least the type of projection that they think makes the most sense. And you can't take the Waymo everywhere, right? Like you can't just sit down here, take a Waymo all the way down to San Diego, right? So we're still kind of restricted of what these autonomous vehicles kind of look like. But there's still other applications they're using it. For example, like in South Korea, they're using some of these inside the airport as kind of like travel to at least allow people to go ahead and move with their luggages, right?
yeah, a robot
Mhm.
near the main line.
Main library downstairs.
No, not downstairs.
Oh,
Downtown.
there's a robot over there.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Down right
In the big one in downtown, the
in the front where the top building is.
yeah.
Anyway, it looks crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
because it just goes
Mhm.
and it looks at everybody. Doing everything. You see it jumping like this, like it's checking everything out.
Mhm.
That's a spy machine. So it's moving like that, like it's running or something.
Mhm.
But it's checking everything.
Yeah.
And then it stops in the middle of the street. While it's walking, who does that? You just go with the machines. it can stop the road. Trying to make sure everything's distance is right and
And
everything.
there is
Mhm.
no road.
I guess left and right, so I guess it's trying to measure if I have to run real fast, which way do I go?
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way that it works, right? It has to go ahead and capture that information in order to compute whether or not what decision you go ahead and make.
So for the input to happen,
Yeah.
but us as humans,
Mhm.
we make our mind up right away or
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it quick.
It's a lot easier for us as well, right?
We got other dangers, we don't see everything.
Hmm. Yeah.
Much, but we just make a commitment.
Hmm.
Yeah. That machine is kind of potentially, it was, I think that was for security purposes.
Okay.
So that means I don't know what that thing can do.
Hmm.
I don't know if it has some kind of, defense or whatever.
Yeah.
But
It might not be defense specifically, but we're starting to see a lot more just pop in day out. A lot of times it could just be that just capture information over time, right? So they could just purely have that robot over there to go ahead and like study what's going on in that street or like in that specific place. What does that traffic kind of look like, right? Yeah. It's invasive privacy, right? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it's kind of similar to like at least when the internet first came out and people were able to go and upload videos, right? You kind of have your information kind of stored somewhere, and it's a way that it captured time versus how it was beforehand, right? So at least having that kind of transition now to AI, it's a lot more of the idea of like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and recapture this data, but now we're gonna have the AI model or the software that we're using go ahead and actually act upon it, right? Based off the commands that we give it.
I don't know what this was. Have a policeman standing there watching that machine. That machine seems to work.
Yeah, I mean, only time will tell, right?
Way more information probably.
No, definitely.
And so in San Francisco, there is this AI vehicle has some, one traffic jam, they make it,
Mhm.
and the police come to there. He wants to make.
And who's responsible, right?
Yeah, but he couldn't. Even the driver does not. I mean, the AI driver does not stop, and you just want to move. And
Exactly.
the road sits to stop, but he cannot do it.
It's like the ethics of it, right? Like, how come I have to stop, but the AI doesn't have to stop, right? Yeah, but a lot of these conversations are starting to come up right now, right? Especially like generative AI, when the AI is able to go ahead and create brand new art forms or different type of stories, right? But it's sourcing out from other stories out there as well, right? Figuring out whether whose property is it, who's not. If someone gets hurt from AI, who's responsible and who's not responsible, right? These are all questions that are now coming up now as well. So at least this right here, when we talk about autonomous vehicles right now, it talks about it talks about at least a little bit more of the autonomous vehicles that we have. So at least right now, with all the Waymos going on, but Tesla is also launching their robo taxis as well, which are doing that pretty soon in order that will be a competitor to it as well. In there's another that just got released in Las Vegas called Zoox. So it's similar. It's another autonomous vehicle, but it's a lot of a kind of like race that a lot of these companies are doing, right? So like Uber is getting on top of it, Lyft, they're all trying to go ahead and at least have their own autonomous vehicles as well.
There's other stuff that can come up.
Mhm.
It's a robot, even the car.
Yeah.
What happens if that car hits somebody?
Yeah.
Remember, it has a brain in it.
Mhm.
What happens to the brain? Does it keep going fast? Does it slow down?
Yeah.
Does it just automatically shut down?
Mhm.
Shut down? I mean, that could be very dangerous. too.
No, definitely. If it keeps going, right?
It doesn't move out of the way. Like
Yeah.
human brain.
Hmm. I think how they operate is that if they get into a collision, they just stand still, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
As I said, there is a mistake. The automatic car made it, and he still just want to go.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
that decision, that human decision,
Mhm.
would you only that individual can make it?
Mhm.
It's not a human. That's somebody else's human mind in that program.
Mhm. No, definitely, right?
They told him everything to do, but probably didn't do all the angles. Like, that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Because it's a new situation come up.
Mhm.
Mathematical problem.
I think right
The
now,
new
yeah.
situation, they need to upload another program inside this vehicle
Mhm.
to understand how they can do it.
What's it that saying? They probably like 300 years before they get to that. That's just complicated. Remember,
Mhm.
they're operating. Some people have minds like Einstein.
Yeah.
So basically, they think about details all the time. Like me,
Mhm.
think about all kinds of things. That's what.
Yeah, but I still think at least in that ratio, in terms of like the AI messing up versus like human doing like human error, I don't know. At least right now, I don't think there's enough information. We haven't had it as long to go ahead and figure out which one is still like more dangerous for us, right? Because of course, there's always a mishap, right? What if like somehow there's like the code that you put in there is like it starts bugging out, right? And the AI just starts doing random stuff, right? But at least the chances of that happening versus someone making a human error, someone texting on their phone while they're driving, right? Someone that maybe not be in the right state, maybe someone that's asleep, like sleeping on the road, right? At least from that, we'd have to wait more time to figure out whether or not one would be safer or what may not be safer. Yeah.
Well, oh yeah, like I see a post where a guy was talking about AI. He's like, we got cars to drive around, but we don't have a washing machine to dry it. So it's close laundry for it. You know, there's a lot of stuff. There's all types of stuff.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff, there's people that go ahead and they work on that type of stuff. So you could definitely find robots that will go over there that fold your own laundry. But a lot of times it's not as profitable, right?
Walmart just released a robot yesterday for I think it was 20 grand.
Oh wow,
Yeah, you can order it online.
that's crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff that you'll see. If you searched up a robot that can fold clothes, you'd probably be able to find something like that. If you found a robot to do a specific task, you might be able to find something like that. But at least, like as I said again, like the commercial value of it, right? Are enough people going to go ahead and buy it, right? If we're talking about the idea of like folding clothes, how expensive would that robot go ahead and be? And does it make sense for someone to go ahead and spend money on something like that? That makes sense, right?
People fold their clothes specific where they want it.
Exactly, right?
They gotta do all that.
Hey, maybe we'll get to a certain time where someone will have a robot in their house who's able to like do all these different type of tasks, and you can teach it the way that you like to fold his clothes, right? We'll see when that day comes. So, kind of lastly, as we talked about earlier, like we see like these little robots that go on the side streets in Cape Town, just going ahead and just delivering food, right?
Coco, yeah, Coco
Yeah.
delivers food better than any human. Coco,
You used it before?
Coco drives food.
Yeah.
You put the food inside Coco.
Mm-hmm.
Coco drives it and takes it better than anybody ever.
Yeah.
Coco's a good robot. You see Coco stay out of the Coco go by.
No, definitely. I seen one on the way actually when I was coming here this morning.
But many times when I saw this kind of report, I just make a video for them because they are so funny, especially in the traffic.
Exactly right. When you go on the sidewalk, I mean, a crosswalk.
You're like a kid. It's a
Yeah.
kid.
No, definitely. Especially if being so new, right? Yeah.
Are there cases of lifting them off of the road and stealing them? Are they heavy yellows?
You know, that's a really good question. That's something that I've actually thought about in my brain, right? Like the idea of like seeing people like meddle with them and stuff like that. I know at least I see like in Waymo, I've seen videos like people just like kicking the Waymo and just destroying them, like just vandalizing them on the side of the road. I don't know specifically about the cases for Coco. I can look into it like a little bit later, but that definitely is a possibility, right?
The biggest problem right now is people going after, in the past, going after the copper and the electric car
Yeah.
charging stations.
Mhm.
That's a big thing right now. I wouldn't tell nobody to do that because I don't know why they do it.
But at least doing what specifically?
The copper and
Yeah.
Electric car for cables that charge your electric.
Oh, wow, so they've been like ripping them out, or
Oh yeah,
That's
the big
crazy.
thing right now.
yeah,
You can trade that.
yeah. At least that, especially when you can sell that raw material, right? Wow.
Very expensive. And this one, it's
Yeah. But at least kind of going to like how can you best utilize AI, right? There's a lot of different things that you can use AI. The best way for you to go and use it is to be your own personal assistant, right? Don't use it to go ahead and replace the type of work that you go in and do, but it can make things a lot easier, right? One way that I personally use it is I use it to help you like make apps and websites, right? You can do that. You can help generate text messages or emails, right? If you want to write something, but you don't feel like your tone sounds too professional, you can go ahead, write like a blurb of what you want to go ahead and do it, throw it into AI and just copy and paste that, right? To make your emails seem more official, right? You can go ahead, generate images and videos if that's something that you want to go ahead and do. You can create grocery lists, right? And even create like a personalized schedule. So kind of with that a little bit, we can see what that may look like. Let's say, for example, I'm getting hungry. It's lunchtime. Let's say I want to go ahead and figure out a recipe to go ahead and someone give me random lunch. Sandwich. Okay. Sandwich, Starbucks. Okay. I am hungry and want to create myself a meal. I want to make myself a turkey sandwich from Starbucks. Or how about we say, I want to make myself a turkey sandwich and I want to make myself a coffee similar to the coffee at Starbucks. Yeah, make sure to include salad in my sandwich and make it healthy. Give me the list of groceries that I need to make this happen and give me the step-by-step instructions of how to make it. So here, just go ahead and feed this to the AI. Just give it a second to get a thing.
Other chat is of the
Yeah. So I use Perplexity. So there's a lot of different AI platforms are creating their own Google browser. So this is the one that I use. It's called Comet by Perplexity, right? And this as well, like if I go ahead and search something up, let's say if I search it up, cowbells, right? What it does is that it uses kind of like it has like its own kind of like user interface. So right here, it brings up the different like Google searches of like top kind of like rated choices, but it also still gives me like the AI kind of description, similar to like how Google has like Google Gemini, and like when you search something on Google, it'll give you that AI thing in the top. But the reason why I really like this browser is that if I click on this icon right here on the top left, it'll send me straight to Perplexity Pro. So, you can. I mean, if I go ahead and I send it a message, it's gonna go ahead and give me a response. It will. So a lot of AI software, it caps out at a certain number of responses, right? So if I tell it to count from 1 to 1,000,000, it's probably going to cut short, but we can definitely see what that looks like right now. So at least right here on the one on ChatGPT, it gave us a grocery list. So this is what it says right here for the grocery list for what we need, right? It said we need sprouted bread, we need low sodium turkey, salads, tomato slices, cucumbers. It gives us all these lists specifically right here. This is for the sandwich. Then it also gives us the grounded coffee, our milk, choice of milk that we want to do, simple syrup or vanilla syrup, and then it gives us It gives these two optional options depending on how we want to go ahead and make our coffee. So from there,
No, name the grocery store.
no. You can, if you want to, you can give it more description. You could be like, I'm in Koreatown, Los Angeles, by the intersection of Vermont and Fifth Street. Find me the closest grocery store and find me the closest Ralph's and give me what specific Ralph products I can go and get. And we can ask the AI that. And I'll probably ask this one because I think this one works a lot better. But it's taking forever to actually respond to this prompt.
That could be like you create like an AI that might offend people. That can like get people like they can like it's like adrenaline kind of. You post something that might be offensive.
Yeah.
That's probably what's a lot of it's going on, like the Martin Luther King meme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of that type of stuff, what people do is that those are because individuals are going ahead and prompting that. So they're like saying like, oh, I want Martin Luther King to be jumping out of an airplane skydiving, right? They're going ahead and they're typing that type of thing out, right? A lot of times when you look at like OpenAI, their ChatGPT and stuff like that, if they ever see anything circulating out there that their AI by itself is spitting out something offensive, they'll go in and try to like get rid of that type of stuff, right? Yeah. Yeah, because it's like it's especially like harmful, right? I am on the intersection of Vermont and Fifth Street. Lead me to the closest grocery store where I can get all these materials. And then from there on, just providing it more information, what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and give us grocery stores that we can go to. So saying that we'll find all these things at the Galleria Market, literally right behind us, right here. And it says right here, what we'll do is we'll find all these different type of materials that we need.
You
Yeah.
can open the Google Map and say just grocery
Yeah,
store
you can do that as well, right?
near to me, and you already open the application.
Yeah.
Just give me all.
No, definitely. And I'll show you something like a little bit more. So like using an AI browser like Comet, it's able to go ahead and use my other applications. So if I say open up on Google Maps the grocery store that you are referring to, it's going to go ahead, it's going to open it up for me. If that makes sense, right? So now it's going to Maps and now it's opening up what the Galleria Market is and it's giving me the address for it. So from there on, I'll just put the directions, and it'll send me straight there. Right? So like I didn't open up Google. I just asked AI to go ahead and do it. So that's where it's starting to get into that point where it's able to go ahead and automate stuff like that.
That's Google Maps.
Yeah.
Do something.
Right now it's not too good, at least doing complicated stuff. It starts to like at least hiccup in sometimes, right? Like if I go ahead and I give it a PDF, I'm like, go ahead and convert that to Google Docs. It stops a lot.
Tell it to make like a mock Google Maps.
All right, I'll do that in a second. I want to go over one last thing. Before I came into the center right now, I just took a random picture outside, right? So at least when I was messing with my computer a little bit, I took this image right here, literally just outside of the gallery marquee, that kind of perspective, and it's the prompt that I give the AI. Please turn this image into a cartoon version of itself, and it gave me this, right? So it's cool, at least the idea of like going ahead, taking that data from online and kind of giving it to that to kind of create that model. It looks really good though. Yeah, no, definitely, right? At least the whole ethics of what it'll like, right? Yeah.
I have a question if you.
Yeah, no problem.
I like to write some stories
Mhm.
about the children.
Yeah.
Give them out. They can know the story in English and in Arabic.
Yeah.
The basic level. But what I surprised, I suffer about to make the image or to make the photo
Yeah.
for these things. I asked the GPT. Unfortunately, even I get this website a lot of information before.
Yeah.
And I divided my story to a point like 1 to 10.
Yeah.
And I asked directly to give me for every point image or photo, but unfortunately it gave me just one photo.
Yeah.
And then asked me to apply for the plus.
Yeah. So yeah.
A website, this is why I give you the
Yeah.
story also. Then there is a website
Mhm.
which can give me the free image. But unfortunately, if I put it all the story
Yeah.
percent, it gives me just one.
Yeah. So at least how AI works,
If
like,
I divide it,
mhm.
the image will be different. For example, the turtle.
Okay,
The image in the first one is not the second.
it's different than the second one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not the same. The same. It is
So,
small,
yeah.
funny turtle, but I can show you.
So yeah. So at least the best way to kind of go about that is like first you're supposed to break it up like the way that you've been doing it, right? But what you can do is you can go in here. Let's say we want to go ahead and ask ChatGPT. What we can do is that we can go ahead and we can add a photo. So you would add the photo of the original one, and you would add it. You would put it in there and say use the turtle. Use the turtle from the first image as an inspiration for the second one. I want the turtles to look exactly the same.
Without GPT plus,
So
couldn't help.
it doesn't help you.
No, it just gives you
Yeah.
one image, and then if you ask it for the second, he says,
Yeah.
okay, apply for that.
So what you could do is that if you still want to do for free, first you can look for any different type of AI. Like maybe I gotta see if Perplexity allows you to do a lot more, or something called Cloud. Okay. Yeah.
Website, as I told you, but unfortunately, my problem is the image is different from one to other. So I can show you here. See,
Yeah.
brother.
Yes.
Here.
Oh no, I see, but all the turtles are all
Now-
different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I'm asking.
So at least the best way to kind of go about that is test out different AIs. On top of my head, I don't know what the free version looks like for all these different type of AIs, but what you can go ahead and do is that you'd have to go ahead and upload the image from the previous one. A kind of way to go around that for ChatGPT is just like have multiple emails. So you'd have one email, and then from there on you upload that image, and then from there on you'd be like, oh no, you have to wait until like a certain amount of time unless you have the paid version, right? You go to the second email, you can go ahead and at least go ahead and get your free image on that one and keep going, which is not effective, right? But I have to see, there may be we can ask the AI right now. Is there an AI platform that I can create unlimited photos with the free version? Chat GPT only allows me to do 1 to 2 images, then makes me pay for the paid version. Yes.
It's messed up.
Mhm.
There was a time, this is years ago, over 10 years ago, maybe
Yeah. Yeah.
About 15 years.
Yeah. Hmm.
Where, for whatever reason, the signals that came to for cell phones in Los Angeles, basically all over the city, stopped. Nobody did it.
Wow.
I don't know why, but that's what people on
Yeah.
the west side and in the east are saying. What if that happens? Because
Yeah.
connection, you can just turn it off.
Yeah. I guess that would be the same kind of thing that happens when like the internet goes out, right? So sometimes like in neighborhoods, stuff like that, Wi-Fi might go ahead and just cuts out, right? It is more on the idea of like the systems that we have in play and how they may affect certain type of things, right? That's something like if we have autonomous vehicles, it's important for the engineers to go ahead and do that. If like let's say it uses Wi-Fi connection, if it does not connect to Wi-Fi anymore, or it does not connect to where it's getting its operation for, the car should go ahead and stop, right? There may be something like that that kind of goes into play that it just will stop, depending on what the programmers go ahead and do for that specific type of device, right? Now it becomes a little bit scary when individuals are like, let's say they're on a machine, right? And they're living off a machine, right? And that cuts out, right? The same kind of problem, that issue is like if electricity cuts at the same time, right? So what systems do you have in play, right? For someone who's like on a ventilator, and if the ventilator like stops, they go ahead and they pass away, right? Is there like some type of like power bank that they have as backup for that as well, right? A lot of hospitals, they have backup generators that will go ahead and be there as like a source of power for a lot of stuff that's going on in the hospital, right? So that's kind of like the importance of what that looks like, right? And at least like it's good that you bring that up too, is that there's a certain device right now called the Da Vinci device. It's a surgical tool that a lot of times doctors could be in different rooms. They could be in one room, the patient in a different room, but they're able to use the robot to go ahead and conduct surgeries, right? And I even seen a video that there was a doctor in a whole different country than someone else performing a surgery on a patient, right? So at least for that, when that happens in the middle of surgery, what happens, right? Should there be some type of regulation that there should be a doctor on standby just in case something happens? Is there any other type of system? That's the politics that kind of go into the idea of like incorporating AI, or at least like some type of machinery that goes into it, right? It's kind of similar. In history, we've had certain type of things to go on, right? I don't think we should necessarily be scared of, because like when the industrial revolution happened, right? A lot of heavily machinery started coming into play, right? Mhm.
There's a difference in doctor to doctor.
Yeah,
Best doctors, that's one thing.
yeah.
But the other doctors, they're just doctors,
Hmm.
which means they make lots of errors compared
Yeah.
to the best doctors.
Yeah, but at least doctors are still trained in a certain type of level to go ahead and at least give attention.
In Beverly Hills,
Yeah.
the best ones,
Mhm.
these are the ones who teach the rest of the doctors.
Hmm.
These people have different diagnoses.
Yeah.
So you don't take the two doctor.
Hmm.
He can fix it. But if you go to an ordinary dentist, he don't do all that detail
Yeah.
that you could do.
So that all, yeah.
That's just very expensive.
Yeah. So at least in that kind of like aspect of it, it is something, at least like the idea of why I brought up a different physician is that if the AI software fails, right? And let's say there is the best surgeon, the best neurosurgeon in the country, right? And he's all the way in Johns Hopkins over there, in all the way in Maryland, right? But he's using the Da Vinci device to go ahead and do surgery upon you. The reason why I brought up the idea of like having a different physician is that if the AI, if like the internet connection cuts out and the device is not be able to be used anymore, right? Are you just gonna leave the patient over there? No, it's better to at least have some type of physician, another neurosurgeon that's already available over there, who's able to go ahead and at least administer the rest of the surgery, right? So at least it's up to us to kind of like create systems and how that will go ahead and work. Now, I don't necessarily know a lot of the legal stuff that kind of goes into it, or how a lot of that kind of proceeds, but it's gonna be interesting because that will be a lot of the politics in our day-to-day life going forward.
Don't we still have the older system in place in case that happens?
And like the older system would be having a doctor there physically and doing the surgery.
I'm talking about the communication part.
The communication part.
Yeah.
So
They need to
yeah.
communicate, but then, like I said, they can't go online.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily know if there's any other system. I believe it's just all through Wi-Fi. Yeah. So yeah. No, I don't know if you'll be able to like do a whole surgery through Telegraph. But yeah.
That's the scary part. You
Yeah.
got all this, then offset nothing.
Exactly right.
Systems,
Mhm.
telegraph, I mean,
Yeah.
then we have telephone, then
Mhm.
the cables, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But it's kind of the same thing as like if you have taken an online class on Wi-Fi, right? Let's say you go ahead and you have a Zoom class, right? If the the Wi-Fi is not there, it's gonna cut out and no one's gonna be able to use it, right? There's no other like from what I know right now, I don't know if there's any other system they have. Right? They might have like backup Wi-Fi or they may have some type of like connection or something like that. But ICE for right now, I don't know if there's any other system they have. If that makes sense. Conference call. Radio, but I don't. Yeah, but what if those radio stations get blocked as well, right? No, definitely. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if you can do like a whole surgery to that as well, right? So it's all dependent. Mhm. It depends on how long it takes, right, to send that signal, right? But yeah,
Really, we enjoy your presentation.
yeah, no problem at all.
Maybe next time you will make something else.
No, inshallah.
besides us.
Yeah, if you all need me here,
Could be.
yeah, if you guys ever need me here, I'm here locally. I can come anytime. Inshallah, I can prepare anything else. If you guys are interested in a different type of topic, I can go ahead and create a presentation for that as well, especially if something a lot more technical. Sounds good. But yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much, Brother Mohamad Abakar, for this very enlightening presentation. I'm sure we all learned a lot from it. And please join us right now. We have Doha prayer in the ICSC prayer hall. And then after that, we have our Quran memorization class with Dr. Amal in this lecture hall. And we have our Sweet Treat Social. So please join us. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people, some students, they basically, I don't like math.
Mhm.
You know, and, that's too hard.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. You mean like that, right?
Mhm.
So, usually, if you, I know some instructors, they don't.
So they just feed into the AI.
These people, they're the shit out here. Remember, AI is not a human person. The different adjustments that a human being can do, that's like beings and people have different personalities. And you have a point where they say no. Even our instructors will say no. Okay, does AI do millions and millions of different types of personalities?
Or specifically for math?
Yeah, that's how you get the human person.
Yeah.
You gotta match that person with a person that they can respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not gonna happen.
In terms of like math, it might be like different ways to like do problems. But in terms of like our personality, are you talking about like does it have a way to go and compute?
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله